This episode, a bunch of unks if ever there were, and probably not the good kind of unk. For anyone under 25, we're the kind of fucking middle-aged idiots who think, A, you actually give a damn about what we have to say, and B, that we can be relevant to you. Especially as in this episode, we're talking about a movie from 1998! Unwritten Off! Welcome to Written Off, a film/screenwriting podcast where we look at movies. You know the kind. Yeah, not those big, flash, fancy movies that get all the awards, and certainly not those horrible movies that the internet loves to trash on, and they pop up in your feed, and you trash on them, and then you feel guilty about it, and it's a cycle of trash. No, we're talking about the movies. Those films that maybe kinda sorta could have been better if only there was a small change, a tiny tweak here or there. My name's Bradley Freeman, and together with my co-host Mark Tasker, we brazenly suggest ways these films, I swear that's the last time I'll do that noise, could have been better. Welcome to Written Off. Now, Mark, would you say that noise was a fast noise or a slow noise?
A slow noise?
Yeah. Would you say it's an annoying noise or a really, really just fascinating noise?
Fascinating?
Was it?
Yeah. What's happening?
Well, I was trying to go for a really cunning comparison, to the main villain of today's movie. But that fucking shat the bed, so let's move on.
Main villain of today's movie? Are we doing the right
slow moving and not interesting?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Is that even the villain?
It is, because there's nothing else in this fucking movie.
He's got no Machiavellian intentions, though, does he?
It?
I've made it he.
Fair enough.
I mean, he looked pretty fucking dangerous.
Down with men!
He looked pretty bloody dangerous when he took out the bald guy, didn't he? Jesus Christ. That death needs to be discussed.
It will be.
That actor's name, what's his name?
Yes. One of the many character actors in today's movie that's like, oh, it's that guy and he's awesome. And I've seen him in this movie. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, he's dead.
Oh, isn't he? I think he's the clown in American Horror Story, isn't he?
John Carroll Lynch.
So John Carroll Lynch
was amazing in The Founder.
Twisty the clown in American Horror Story.
Oh, he's the prison guard in Face Off as well.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, hello everyone.
Hi everyone. Hey, how are you, mates? That's right. It's another fun-filled episode. Fun-filled? God damn it. There's got to be a better way to describe this show. Casually excited. There we go. Casually excited episode of Written Off. I'm your host, Bradley Freeman. Thank you very much for joining with me. As always, is my wonderful co-host who's off taking a shit, I suppose. He's not on camera anymore. I don't know where he is. It's Mark Tasker.
I'm here. Hello, everyone.
There he is.
Hello. I'm not taking
How you been?
Cripey, O'Reilly. How have I been? I've been all right. I've been good. And I think we're going to disagree on this film. I really enjoyed it.
Did you hear that? That was the sound of thousands of mates shifting in their chairs with anticipation at what's going to unfold in this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll come to blows over it.
As always, we like to start our episodes with just a chat on what we've been seeing, what we've been reading, all that kind of stuff. What have you been catching up with of late, Mark?
I watched Civil War. Kirsten Dunst is brilliant in it. And her other half, Meth Damon, is also brilliant in it. A chilling little mid-movie kind of cameo. Brilliant. It's actually quite similar to 28 Days Later in its tone. It's very downbeat.
Really?
Yeah, it might as well be a zombie film in a way. It's not what people thought. It's not what the trailer made it feel like. I didn't love the main sort of younger protagonist, which is a shame because it's important that you do kind of like her, and I didn't really, which took something away from it for me. It uses photography very, very, very heavily, and it talks a lot about journalists a lot. So there's quite a lot being said, maybe. but it's just not what people thought it was going to be. So I can see why it got the reception. And finally, I also watched the original Suspiria, which is not what, well, it is what I expected it to be in a way, but that is a vibe film beyond all vibe.
Mm.
And you watch it and you think, if you actually analyze the momentum of the story, hang on, where have all those people? So they go to a dance school and you're like, here's this character, never see them again. Why has she gone over there? Doesn't matter. Just forget about it. Look at that bright red, that bright blue. Listen to that goblin theme that is just so like propulsive. It's just like, here we go. Keep going, keep going. It is an extraordinary film, like in the true sense of the word extraordinary. Really enjoyed it. And, we watched it actually quite late. It's not scary, but I really enjoyed it. And it's so different from the remake. And I can see why people that like the original didn't like the remake, because it's like, aside from the setting, it's just night and day different. I was going to say to you, that's my little teaser, which remake or sequel, we were just talking about it before we started about Alien and Aliens, but a remake. Have you ever watched a remake that completely threw away most of what made the original popular?
I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'd have to see a list because
Yeah.
it's definitely been done before. There have been remakes that are almost like a, well, fuck you
Yeah.
to the fans.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. I'm so wrong. But that awful Child's Play remake comes to mind. But I know I'm wrong because that movie just did it all over again. So it's not that.
Anyway, I'll leave that with you. But yeah, it's
Oh, I know.
He's got it.
Can you call it a remake? I don't know. But Roland Emmerich's Godzilla.
Yeah.
If you're comparing it to the Japanese, it's like, well, this is telling a very, very, very different story.
I think that's not a bad comparison. I think, kind of like that. I mean, obviously it's done for different intentions, but yeah, he threw the baby out with the bathwater for sure in that example. But an enjoyable, as I said, enjoyable vibes movie. The score is, I mean, I like kind of synthy proggy score. That's why I like Dawn of the Dead so much. Dawn of the Dead. There's a sequence in that. They're in like so it's when it starts to get boring for them. So you remember that bit? And they're like walking around and they're going into they're like in the ice skating rink and they're bored and it's like they've plateaued. And there's a brilliant, brilliant piece of music that plays over the top of that. And it's not in the original soundtrack. It's only in the like extra soundtrack. But for me, it's one of the best pieces of music committed to film. And it's just, I'd love to have heard more of it, but in a way, I'm glad it was sort of restricted to me because it just, every time I watch it, it's like, dun, dun, dun. It's got this really fancy, like that, like really goes for it on the solo, but it's like this drone of, God, this is boring and also scary. And is this all there is? And are we going to do nothing else is going to happen? Is it? Or is it? It's a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant piece of music. And I think Suspiria, the theme is so great and it captures exactly what they wanted. So they're just like, right, let's just keep playing this and we'll just add a few effects over the top of it. And I'm all for that. I love that.
Ravenous, the movie Ravenous.
I don't think I have seen it, no.
It stars Robert Carlyle and Guy Pearce, and the score was written by Damon Albarn and I think Michael Kamen. I like reading reviews of this movie. 50%, oh, that fucking score is the most annoying, weird, awful, shrilly thing. But the other 50%, which is what I'm in, is like, fuck, that score is good. It is quirky. It is unique. It has a bite to it. It's got a singular identity.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, a lot of film scores you can kind of pluck and put them in other movies.
Yeah.
You cannot do that with Suspiria, and you cannot do that with Ravenous. It's the identity.
Yeah, and it's a risk. Yeah, it's been good. I've watched some stuff I've really enjoyed and thought about, which makes a nice change.
Some horror fans will rake me across the coals for this, but I much prefer Day of the Dead.
Yeah, I like Day of the Dead.
Everything you just said, that melancholy, I think Day has that as well, but Day also has this bleak, just like it is over. There is no chance.
And actually, to be honest, Dawn of the Dead, as much as I love it to bits, it is long, especially the version that you kind of see now. It is long, and I think Day of the Dead has a bit more zip to it. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, against female protagonist, but there's so much going on there. Yeah. No, I don't think people would haul. I think you're fine. There are a lot of people maybe they wouldn't say better than, but I think that film has become more and more appreciated as time goes on. Yeah, good shout. I'd like to watch. I've got it on DVD somewhere, so maybe I'll give that a watch at some point.
The kind of knife edge tiptoe that film does so well is, yes, there are plenty of horror films out there that are depressing and bleak. I respect them, but I never want to rewatch them.
Yeah.
I might remember a scene or a thing that's quite chilling. It'll stay in my mind, but it won't stay in my heart.
Yeah.
Whereas Day of the Dead, it is bleak, it is depressing, it is dreamlike, but it's also entertaining.
I think you're right, and I think Civil War probably isn't entertaining enough. I'll be if I'm gonna, like, if you said to me you're gonna watch it again, no, I'm not. And how about yourself, Brad? It's enough talking about me. What have you watched?
I had the pleasure of watching The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, with someone who'd never seen it before, had no clue about it, didn't know the story, didn't know the actors, didn't know anything. So I sat down with this person and I watched The Thing. And it had been about a year since I'd last seen it. It was really, really interesting to see, as always, does the film work this day and age to someone who doesn't know about it? And it does work. It certainly works. They could not believe the creature. They could not believe the forms.
I don't blame them.
Isn't it amazing? Like, it was it 81, 82 that movie was released?
Yeah.
They had the practical effects and they had the imagination to make some really amazing, like, I mean, that when that chest opens up,
this is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And the person I saw it with still texts me today and mentions that. This person said, like, I had no idea to expect it, and then when it happened, it was like a bed sheet had been ripped open, and there was before, and then through the bed sheet was after, and just they said, like, I can't believe I saw something that I've never seen before,
and we'll never see it again.
And I've also started watching, it's on HBO Max, it's called My Adventures with Superman.
Yes, I think I've heard it.
The reason I'm watching it is because of all the superhero people, Superman is my favorite for very, very simple reasons. I like that there is a person, doesn't matter male or female, but there's a person out there who, no matter what, is going to make the right choice. You can rely on them to be morally the strongest, most kindest person. And I love that. Like, it's the same reason why I love the Doctor from Doctor Who. It's amazing that there is a being out there that is so smart and so empathetic and just wants to save people. So I've always loved that about the character. But, for me, I don't really have a favorite Superman anything. I don't have a favorite movie, actor.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it's really been cracked. And years ago, just some indie artist, she just put up like a 4-panel comic saying, why don't they do this with Superman? And it was very, very sweet. It was this ridiculously muscle-bound Superman, and he was blushing because he's talking to Lois and he's trying not to fuck it up. He's trying not to make a fool of himself. To me, that's the kind of Superman I would love to see. I'd love to see a being that is so kind and so powerful and always does the right thing, just be a real klutzy ham around the person that he's falling in love with. I'd be quite happy in watching a whole Superman movie without him punching anyone, just trying to date the girl, just trying to get the win. He's being called away for this or that, or, he's got stuff to do, escalating series of, oh God, Clark, just get it together.
Right.
I would find that just so charming. When I was a teenager, I was all about I want to see my superheroes dark. I want to see them killing people and dealing with dark stuff. And like, now I'm older, I'm like, no. I just want charming and nice.
Oh dear. Brad's entering his dotage, obviously. But no,
yeah.
Dark doesn't really have any development, does it? Because where are you going to go? It's like the Batman who laughs. Right, that's good. The image is good. There's nowhere to go now because he's broken bad. So now he's just going to keep coming up again and being a bit of a dick. And it's like Brightburn, that film as well, isn't it? With the little kid that breaks bad. And it's like, okay.
I enjoyed that movie.
It's good because it got to the point where it's interesting and then cuts and that's
and
it.
Stops.
Imagine if there was a 2, 3, and 4. It'd just be like,
oh, no.
So from a comic book writer's point of view, I can imagine you'd be like, well, I've done it now. And they're probably reluctant to do it because there's not that fun development and growth because you've you've grown into what you're going to grow into, and there endeth the lesson kind of thing. But you can only go so far, I would say. Whereas what you're talking about with Superman, I think, well, it's just relatable, isn't it? It's just relatable.
Speaking of only going so far.
Speaking of
relatable, it's time to cover this episode's movie, Volcano. Yeah, 1998's or 1997's Volcano. Is it 97? It is. Yes, 97's Volcano.
And we actually said at the end of the last one, we were both a bit jaded by some of the, just cardboard films we'd had to watch just with nothing to them, nothing. But I found this quite chirpy, and I think it's a lot to do with obviously the actors, the score, and it's directed with an energy that maybe the script doesn't deserve. I don't know. I think so. I'd say that the script is trash, basically, isn't it? But all of the other things, you can see there's quite a lot of people here giving it a good go, and I think that's why I quite like it. It's charming in its not very goodness. That's how I feel, anyway.
I don't.
What? How?
Like you, I was so happy to watch this because it was a breath of fresh air.
It is.
Yeah, it was nice to watch something old school that was not quite so corporate IP engineered in such a way. Does that?
Yeah.
What's a good way of saying that?
It does. It does. Exactly. It doesn't feel. You can't feel the grubby hands of a million people on it, each telling someone else, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I really think it does feel like that. It feels quite pure. I watched Dante's Peak straight after it.
Oh,
it's much more what you'd expect from this kind of 100%. This is not, I don't even know what this is. That's why I think that's why I quite like it. It's just like, why have they said there? Volcano? There is no volcano that I saw. But for me, it's silly, and I'm all into silliness.
It's definitely sillier than Dante's Peak.
Definitely, yeah. I think Dante's Peak, the setting's gorgeous, the way it's done, the build-up, the character introduction. It's a much more comfortable, familiar road that you sort of take. This is like somewhere between a natural disaster. It's got a bit of Die Hardy energy in it, a bit of Predator 2 energy, I thought. It's
today's poster quote. This movie had real Predator 2 energy.
It does. I just think it's very.
Stephen Hopkins would be proud.
No, he's not. He can't be proud about much. But I don't know. Anyway, we'll get onto it. But I definitely enjoyed it more than you did. I know that for a fact.
Directed by Mick Jackson, who is the awful bastard who thrust threads upon Commonwealth viewers.
I know. I could not believe it was the same person.
This is the guy who did Threads.
I triple taked when I read that. And Threads.
And The Bodyguard. Threads, The Bodyguard, Volcano.
The best career in history. So Threads is filmed in Sheffield, which is the nearby city. Anyone of a certain vintage around, I live near Sheffield, anyone of a certain vintage around here will be like, oh yeah, bloody hell, that were bloody scary, is how they would say it.
For Americans out there, or people not in the Commonwealth, or people just unlucky enough, ? Who haven't seen Threads. Threads is talking about bleak, is a story about basically nuclear bombs going off in Britain and how shit just gets fucked.
Yeah.
And families get fucked. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. It's not a fun watch, which I suppose is why the New Zealand Board of Education made every fucking child watch it at school during their school years.
Lovely.
Anyway,
kind of them.
Volcano was written by Jerome Armstrong and Billy Ray in his first screen credit. Now, what's another Billy Ray film we've covered, Mark?
I'm frantically trying to find out. I don't know.
Terminator Dark Fate.
Oh, fucking hell.
Look, see, it's basically the same film. People running away from things that bore you the longer you watch it.
Respectfully disagree.
Now, Volcano tells the story of a half-hearted effort to divert the path of a dangerous lava flow.
Half-hearted?
Through, one street
Love it.
of Los Angeles, following the sudden formation of a mound. I'm not going to call it a volcano. I'm just going to call it a thick mound, thick mound of lava at the La Brea tar pits. Cue the explosions.
Kind of. Billy Ray also wrote the Captain Phillips, the Tom Hanks vehicle.
I am the captain now. I see.
Captain Phillips, very small anecdote. I actually saw the Antipodean rock star Nick Cave. He actually watched that film in the same cinema as me, 3 rows behind.
Wow.
True story. He was there buying his popcorn for his kids, and this spotlight was on his head, and I was like, fucking hell. And I kind of nudged my sister and my wife, and I was like, look over there. And he sat, two or 3 rows behind me. So occasionally I'll just turn around and he was just kind of staring blankly at Captain Phillips. Anyway, Billy Ray, Captain Phillips, Volcano, yeah.
That threw me for a loop. I was just like, what the fuck?
It's a true story. These are the nuggets. The nuggets of truth that people want to hear.
This is the reason why the mates join in. It's like, what random piece of shit info
A piece of shit
unveiled in this episode that is going to make it all worth it?
It's color.
It's color, and they love it. Thank you for sharing your color.
I'm sure they love it.
So
we have to mention.
I thought you were joking or just lying or just making shit up.
Disney Plus, the little description of it that it has is, just when you thought Los Angeles was free of natural disasters, here comes another one.
Shit.
And it's got a picture of Tommy Lee Jones as well. It looks like it's snowing in the picture and he's looking at this tiny little bit of fire. And it's like, that'll do.
He doesn't look happy.
He doesn't look happy, but he doesn't look scared. I'm not sure what his emotion is. He doesn't look scared at all during this film, does he? At all.
No, he's never, the main villain, he's never scared of it.
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's why I like it.
Pierce Brosnan, throughout Dante's Peak, looks really fucking scared or pissed off.
He looks quite scared of Linda Hamilton in that film, because Linda Hamilton, it's a bit of a crude thing to say, but she's gushing over him in every sense in Dante's Peak, and rightly so. And there's that woman in town's like, wow, are you gonna fuck him? When she winds the window down. It's very natural, isn't it? Because that is exactly how you should behave if that version of Pierce Brosnan rolls into town. Fucking hell.
Where were you when you saw this movie? Did you see this in cinemas?
No. So when I watched it the other day in the bath, which is becoming where I watch all these films, I had seen it. I definitely had seen it. But it was probably a TV. I couldn't tell you, mate. I couldn't tell you. Definitely not in the cinema, that's for sure.
I was in New Zealand. I was a naive, happy-go-lucky idiot teenager. And at that time, I'd never seen any of the Irwin Allen 70s disaster movies. When this movie came out and Dante's Peak, Poseidon Adventure, Towering Inferno, Airport, I hadn't seen any of them. So for me, the best film at that time that had the most widespread destruction was probably Independence Day.
Which is why this film got made, probably. So, yeah.
Could be. So I'd seen Dante's Peak and really enjoyed it. And I saw this and I was quite ambivalent about it afterwards. I mean, I knew of Tommy Lee Jones, but I hadn't known of him because of The Fugitive and Batman Forever. As a teenager, there was the only 2 films that I'd ever seen him in. Of course, 3 months after Volcano was the release of Men in Black.
Yeah.
The summer of Tommy Lee Jones. And here's a fun fact. Men in Black, Volcano, same budget, 90 million.
Oh, really? 90 million, Jesus. 90 million.
Also funny, I saw this movie back when my hometown, Christchurch, was quake-free. So I watched all these disaster movies being like, oh, an earthquake. I wonder what that feels like. Then I moved to Tokyo and I sure as fuck found out. And then I moved back to Christchurch and I fucking found out again.
Possibly my favorite scene in this movie is where they're betting on where the earthquake took place. They're all standing around that computer and they're like, oh, I think it's in such and such. I'm like, I mean, maybe there is a place where that happens, but I mean, might be talk about it later, but there's a sense of silliness to this that I hate to say, but post 9/11 or post big Christchurch earthquake or post 2011 earthquake, people just stop doing it like this. People just stop laughing about natural disasters. I think just too many people, of whatever reason, just have been affected or feel they've been affected by natural disasters. Imagine a scene like that. You get silly natural disaster films, but to have people who are supposed to be in charge just blithely and blasé, just like tenor on, I found that tone really interesting. And it felt very archaeological in its view. Like, there's no way that would happen now in a film.
That's a really, really good point. This movie has a lot of the critics singled out this silliness as a reason for it not being good. But yeah, I mean, that's the problem. We've talked about this again and again and again. The mates are sick of me saying it, but big budget blockbuster movies this day and age, really, I mean, fucking, where's the comedy gone? Where's the cheese? You got to have some fucking cheese. I mean, you're making a burger in the first place, put some goddamn cheese in there.
And again, we'll go into the tone. And, there's a lot of like, I mean, you've already referenced, Godzilla, the remake of Godzilla. It tries to do this a little bit. It has those like, it tries to do it. I think this works better, but the reason, and I'm going to put this up front, is because of the people delivering the lines. I think Tommy Lee Jones, never been bad in anything. Anne Hesh, I think, is really good in this.
She is.
I think she's really good in this. And I think she was better. Unfortunately, she has passed away. She was better than a lot of the things she was in. You've got great supporting actors. The guy we'll talk about a bit later on.
Keith David,
who's not in it enough.
Richard Schiff, blink and you'll miss good old Schiffy. Sex and the City's John Corbett.
Yeah, I know. I will definitely be talking about him in a minute. But yeah, you've got a lot of people really giving it some. And I think in Godzilla, it's so limp. The people delivering the lines are so limp in comparison to this. So, actually, you've got a kind of Anne Heshy look-alike, haven't you, in Godzilla? I don't even know the actor's name. Robin, Rachel, something. I can't remember without looking.
Oh, she's sadly infamous for her acting in that movie. And then she quietly left the profession. I will actually go to bat for that movie. I think Emmerich and his partner, Dean Devlin,
writing
partner and producing partner, they really, really, really know that I'm going to call it American. It's that big blockbuster American cheese filmmaking, the rah of it all.
I mean, I agree, but my problem is the cast is appalling. It's not how they've written it, and that's the same with this film. Like the lines, I mean, like some of it is awful. It's awful, but the people delivering those lines are so hard. That's what I mean. If Godzilla just put all of the cast from this into Godzilla, imagine that.
Matthew Broderick versus Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I am not complimenting the writing because that would be stupid. But everyone else, or everything, or a lot of the other parts of this film, either for good or for bad, lift it up to be more entertaining than what God, it must have been awful. Can you imagine reading it?
Can you imagine reading it? Wait, how much are they paying me? I'm doing it! I'll let you go ahead for this one first. What does work, actually, about this film?
I like the setup. There's a lot of kind of like almost, I mean, I'm not quite saying they're funny, but there's a lot of little in-jokes in the like introduction of LA, and like you've got the radio over the top of it. And I think it sets the scene of LA very well. I like watching Tommy Lee Jones cook.
That's worth your $5 there, people. Oh, I get to see him cook.
It doesn't look like he's ever done it before. It's really good. I mean, the character doesn't, and he acts as though he doesn't. I think almost all of the character inductions work really well. It's got a bit of a Die Hard with a Vengeance-y kind of setup, I think. You can feel the heat of the city. I think the location is set up well. There are quite a lot of characters, and not all of them should probably be there, to be fair. But I feel that most of them add color. And if you compare with Dante's Peak, which is more traditional in how it sets up its characters, and it's more traditional in a disaster's going to come, everyone knows it, you've already bought the ticket, you know what's going to happen. It doesn't do it in that way. It's a lot more playful. Like, for example, the introduction of Anne Hesh. Look at that. So you've got those two talking, right? Do you remember the scene? So they're like, oh, fucking hell, I don't want to give this bloody press conference. Oh, God, do I have to? Anne Hesh comes in. It's so nicely done. She's so good. She like breezes in and they're like, oh, thank Christ. And then she goes and gives that stuff like that. I think there are lovely little touches that are not heavy handed. Even it's directed in a way. It's not bang, look at, here comes the rock or whatever. I just think the setup of it is just what I would want. It's a bit silly. I like it. I think it's good. It got me in a good mood.
Agreed. What I love about disaster movies, the calm before the storm. I love all the hints all the building up, and movies do this so well. It's, mates, you've seen this once, you've seen it 100 times in so many movies. Picture this: a character looks at a seemingly innocuous object while ominous music plays, and the camera pushes in slowly either on the object or on the character. So it's like, what is with that crack in the wall? I love that because the audience knows what that is. Yeah. Character doesn't, and the movie can have a bit of fun with it. I love it. Like, oh, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. And then the after is fine, but just love the build up. And I think this movie has a great build up.
Very, very briefly as well. There's the little thing that like it does the dee that comes up, and it's like, in the event of a natural disaster, this agency. So there we go. And I have to say right now before I forget, Tommy Lee Jones is running this agency, right? Or at least he's like quite high up in it, but he doesn't know what a geological event is, and he doesn't know what magma is. I was literally going, is he joking? No, he's not joking. I love that.
The actual line, I wrote this down. What is a geological event?
I know. It's incredible.
And then what is magma?
So if you compare to the Pierce Brosnan, you do kind of have to. Of course, the Pierce Brosnan character is much better set up. It makes a lot more sense. But I don't care because it's so stupid that they've got poor Tommy Lee looking like an absolute twat. You've really written that. If you hadn't have had that pre-thing at the beginning, you might have got away with it. Probably not, but you might have. But now you definitely won't get away with it. Everyone in the cinema will be like, the fuck?
Speaking of that text opening, I love a good text opening.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just nostalgia because a lot of movies growing up had a text opening, like in the bowels of this facility in room 1313, there exists a robot designed to kill. And now, someone has opened that room.
Yeah.
Did the world not know about fucking volcanoes in 97?
I remember studying it at school, so yeah.
So many of the characters in this movie, when the lava is coming down the street, I get it. It's not something you see in LA all the time. I get it. Wilshire Boulevard, holy fuck, there's lava. But they're staring at it, not like, holy fuck, that's weird. They're more staring at it like, what is that shiny thing? I want to touch it. You know, it's like, what?
Pre-internet innocence?
Fucking run. So I'm fine with Tommy Lee asking that question. You can easily correct it by having him being like, the other guy responsible got fired and I just got placed in this job. And to be honest, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. I've come over from another department. Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially because, it's juxtaposed with just before he's in the office and they're like, you never take a day off. You're really into this job. So I agree. In like, when you're saying it, of course I agree with you. You're 100%. As I did say at the beginning, I don't think it's very well written because it's silly. Because it could have been recent transfer from another department, has like a more police background, has done, I don't know, conflict negotiation or something. Because the way he acts later would that be consistent, wouldn't it? Because like the way he organizes people and stuff, that would be consistent.
I would say a disaster movie is the summation of a blockbuster or popcorn flick. You need a budget for it, a couple of big actors. You need a runtime of hopefully no longer than 2 hours. You need a force or a bad guy, nature, something that needs to be dealt with. Like you can't end your disaster movie on a downer.
Look, I would say it loses a lot of momentum and the end is like, it really does peter out almost like the magma. The fun is generally at the beginning. In its own weird, slightly quirky way, this is fun.
I mean, you've got to have a character who's like, hey, what's that thing over there?
Yeah.
Other characters like, what do you mean? Like that thing, that reading on the screen there, that printout. Oh, don't worry about that thing. No one cares about that.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, in this, you've got the expert who does that.
Yes.
The expert who knows nothing about the topic. I like the construction of it.
Ad break time, and just to give you a peek, a little soupçon of what's coming down the pipeline. Well, I've written a new book, and this new book is very different from the current book that I've been talking about on this very podcast for well over 30 episodes. That's right, I've been talking about Momo and Matsu, the director's cut. But coming soon is my stab, pun intended, at a pure horror book. Is the writing horrific or is the story actually scary? I will leave that up to you. But Momo and Matsu, the director's cut, it's a very warm book. It wears its heart on its sleeve. So all this to say, You want to read something that's all the feels. I don't even know if people say that anymore. But yeah, you want to read something emotional. You want to read something that goes a bit dark in a few places, but ultimately turns out positive. You want to read something supernatural. You want to read something set in Japan. Well, hey, Momo and Matsu is the book for you. Available on whichever Amazon portal you use in ebook, hardcover, or paperback. And hey, if you've got KDP, it is free to read. And if you like something with a bit more bite, if, like your coffee, you like your horror black, well, just you wait and see. Okay, back to the show.
So then what was the first mistake the film made, writing-wise?
It introduces that politics background. Is the film against the concept of public transport? Kind of seems like it is. You've got the slimy politician who's built a building, but actually he's a developer. Oh, he's a developer, but he's piggybacking on environmental causes. Is he? That's just like, really, why is it there? It's a waste of time and it bogs it down. I mean, it's not a very long film anyway, is it?
The doctor and her real estate boyfriend, husband, whatever, both characters need to go.
Absolutely.
Cut them straight out. I mean, obviously, they wanted some ostentatious, annoying bad guy. I mean, he's the most cartoonish character in the entire movie because any sane human being, you know, who is a real estate tycoon wouldn't be like, oh, these people are dirty and dying. I wouldn't say that out loud.
I know.
You know, around your constituents or the people that you're trying to woo.
Okay, I'll ask you, do you think it takes too long for the critical event to happen? Because Dante's Peak takes quite a long time, but you do feel like you're more in the world, and I think Dante's Peak is definitely more enjoyable. In a pure sense, it's more enjoyable, the build up. In this, do you think it takes too long?
Nope. Enemy of the State, my big issue with that is like, ooh, does that take too long to figure out what the fuck it's doing? Hello, Gene Hackman. 57 minutes into the goddamn movie. What the fuck?
Goodbye again for another 15 minutes. Yeah.
But this, nope. I love the runtime.
Where are you saying it falls down? If you are saying it falls down.
I'm going to come across like a real bully.
No.
Because the first thing I'm focusing on is what the fuck is up with this 13-year-old daughter?
Yeah.
AKA Little Miss can't do jack shit.
Yeah.
One, she looks 18 going on 40. Yeah. Two, the fuck, the supposed kid / like masquerading adult. She's like clutching a teddy bear like it's like the meth she's been missing her whole life.
Yeah.
Not to mention being completely unable to pat herself down when she's on fire.
Yeah, she's old at times and young at other times. Yeah, she's really badly written. Again, is she superfluous? Probably. But yeah, I agree. I don't like her very much. I'd also like to point out the side plot with the racist policeman. Weird thing to do when you could have spent a bit more time in working out Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, I like it, but it's just like, why is it there?
Idiot white cop who, you know, thankfully his partner throughout the film was like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
I quite like that, yeah.
One unforgivable mistake that this movie makes time and time again. I think to its credit, or to let it off the hook, it is a product of its time, 1990s of it all, is that your most qualified, smartest character in the entire movie, who happens to be a female, is constantly questioned on her hypothesis or her facts.
I would say, Brad, look at what happened during COVID. All the smart people were like, this is this. All the dumb fuckers shouted over the top of them. Look where we are now. So I think that's actually quite realistic. And what I like about it, she says a couple of times, she's like, the fact that scientists need to be certain, like it's important to us, we have certainty. And they're like, fuck certainty. Who, you know, oh, here she comes. Oh, she needs to properly. Fucking hell, here we go. I think that's fair. I think that happens all the time. And especially when you've got money involved. I think it does do that quite well. You've got the different agencies can't work together. All thinking about covering their own asses. Let him fucking deal with it. Like that, to me, rings very true. Let them deal with it. I'm not paying for it.
No, you've turned me around. You are right. Why is this super smart person who knows everything, why is she sent off at the end to look after a fucking kid?
I mean, inexplicable. There's no, I offer no defense of that. It's so weird. Tommy Lee's like, right,
get the fuck out. Yeah, me who has no skill set I'm going to go stop the lava. You, the person who has been right all along, go over there and look after my kid.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. It's like they lost their bottle a little bit. It's like, because there's kind of a will, a very low level will they, won't they? I mean, the age difference is quite big, obviously, but watch that very first bit where they see each other. There's definitely supposed to be a frisson, 100%. Because Tommy Lee's like, he does the old facial reaction, cut to Hesh. Hesh is walking. Now she sees him. She definitely reacts back to him. He reacts. Hello, I'm Tommy Lee Jones. It kind of suggests that's what might be in the offing. And I'm not saying they were going to kiss at the end, but fuck it. I'm going for lunch. It's already morning. Or no, I'm going for breakfast. It's morning. Do you want to come? Like that kind of thing. But no. As you say, go and get the fucking 12/40-year-old woman, find out where she is, which is not necessary anyway. We know where she is.
So why do you think they made the story choices they did? First off, why LA? Was it a case of, well, we've seen New York or we've seen rural, small town America, whatever the fuck? What do you think?
I think it's still riding on the coattails of, the Lethal Weapons, the Die Hards. I think it sort of thinks an urban setting would be an interesting place to do this. And by putting it there, you do have a lot more like, the fuck? How can this happen here? So I think, and it does happen that quite well, because as we know, there's a lot of like, well, this can't happen here kind of thing. I think it thought we can't just do that because that's passé or has been pastiche to death. I mean, Dante's Peak is very earnest. Put it in the context of when it was made, 97. I know a lot of critics rightly were like, the fuck? Why? But it's a different energy. It's not so hokey. It feels a bit more street politically. As I said, it does have that political element. It does have that.
But I think that's also intrinsic to LA.
Yeah.
No.
And maybe that's why. I'm probably is the writer from LA?
Like, I mean, it's bringing back Emmerich's Godzilla. It features the mayor, trying to use the crisis to prop up his numbers, which I feel is a very New York thing for a movie to have. And I think LA having its own political, real estate or gridlocked traffic or that kind of thing, you have to kind of put it in an LA story.
I like the setting, but I can certainly see why it seems like a strange choice.
See, I don't.
Yeah, and I understand.
I actually really like LA. I've got a lot of places in the city that are like, oh, I like that place. And oh, I remember when I was da-da-da-da. This movie, it feels like it was made for those people who live in LA only.
It does, yeah.
There's a ton of like nods and winks and hey, it's that place. It's all played out. But unless you live there, you don't get it. Felt like a lot of in-jokes or a lot of, oh man, that's so LA.
Another elephant in the room might be Speed, because Speed is a relatively similar setting. You've got a lot of jokes about this highway and this area. And I think there was a trend, Demolition Man. There was a trend for like, we're in an urban environment and we're going over the urban environmentness. But I think they felt like, let's bolt, again, not saying it's a good decision, but let's bolt on the disaster movie onto those things that audience seem to quite enjoy. We'll have the best of both worlds. As it turns out, you've got kind of watering down of both worlds.
Also, the problem with building an 80% to scale Wilshire Boulevard means that you spend 25 minutes there.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
This fucking street where we're never going to get off it.
Yeah, I know.
This one street is being affected.
It's shit, obviously, but it's fun and it's hokey and it's silly and
it is fun. It is hokey. Yep, I agree. Yeah.
It feels very much they're in a bit like Gremlins. They're in this one area and they're just going to film it from slightly different angles. And it's not developed very well and it's a bit boring. I agree. But the idea of it, I like.
I wonder why. How could you easily summarize why this movie works and Skyscraper doesn't?
Yeah, I thought about it yesterday, yeah.
And I think it's because this movie has a hokiness to it that it isn't afraid to acknowledge and be like, yeah, I know, fucking lava, LA, right? Tommy Lee Jones, lead character, running towards a fucking falling down building. Why not? Whereas Skyscraper is like, oh, this is legit. He's going to save his family. Yeah, of course he is. Yeah.
Like faux earnestness about everything. And, people going about woke movies now. That's not what it is. That's not the problem.
It's not, it's not that.
You are right. There is something that feels wrong, but you're looking in the wrong place.
Does this movie try to add anything to the genre or to the template?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
I've never seen lava go down a sewer tunnel before, so yeah, sure. Although I have to say, where are the fucking deaths? When that lava starts coming, you've got the firemen in their fire truck, and he's like, "Help me!" All right, well, here comes the bit where they grab him and they slowly pull him out just in time.
Yeah, I know.
But no, this movie's like, in goes one fireman, here comes the other, they're fucking dead. And I was like, oh shit, this movie's gonna have a body count. Turns out, no.
Well, and that's what makes, and we might as well talk about now, the death of our a balding friend so unbelievable. Like, as you say, where does that come from? It comes from a fucking Roger Corman movie. So to describe the scene, an underground train is slowly boiling to death, and then the boys go down there with their hard hats on, very Ghostbusters 2. They go down into this tunnel and they're like, oh no, and they work out that the ooze/magma is coming. So from out of nowhere, this guy who, let's remember, was betting on where the fucking earthquake had happened and was fucking throwing Hesh under the bus, suddenly becomes fucking Rambo or, Die Hard or whatever. And he goes onto this carriage. Absolutely, we are not leaving anyone here behind. So they rescue a bunch of them. And then they realize the magma is going quicker than they thought. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, please tell me again the actor's name.
John Carroll Lynch.
John Carroll Lynch, JCL. He lifts the driver and then does the world's weirdest jump. I mean, to be fair, if you did have that body weight on,
you're not jumping. Yeah, you're jumping shit all.
But I'd also argue you wouldn't be able to reach behind your neck and throw that body. It's incredible, and it's so badly done, and the reaction shots and the framing, it is so brilliant. It's camp and cringy. It's unbelievable. Yes. Unbelievable.
I wonder, if did they just shoot it that way and be like, yeah, this is stupid, we know it, fuck it.
Like maybe it was a second unit thing. Mick Jackson didn't know that was happening because it feels like it's been directed by a different person. So maybe he was off for a week, he had some gastroenteritis or something, and he's come back.
What the fuck did you do? Yeah. You shot this fucking scene. I'm not going to use it. How much did you spend on that? Oh, fuck.
I don't reckon they showed it to him. I reckon he sat in the premiere.
Hey, by the way, Mick, we've put the new scene for you.
What new scene? Would you remember Carol Lynch? Yeah, actually, we didn't actually ever write him out of the film. Well, watch this. And he just sat in the premiere, open-mouthed. It's so good. I mean, obviously, if there were more of that, it would be like a much more trashier version of this, but it's incredible.
If that scene was in Skyscraper, it would be terribly like I love earnestness in movies, but it would be exactly as you say, it'd be false. It'd be like, here's the bit. Oh, we're gonna pull on your heartstrings. Look at this guy. What a hero. He's giving it his all. Whereas this movie's like, look at his fucking dick. His shoes are melting. And he's like, instead of being like, oh, fucking shit, I'm dying.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh.
I know, it's incredible. Yeah. Well, especially because you do, again, the love in Anna Hesch's good girlfriend. Don't know.
Yep. Gets eaten by a crack.
Yeah. And it's very quick, so much so that I did miss it. I didn't realize it happened because when Hesh comes out and she's like, oh, and the ash is, there's a lot of ash in this film as well. That should be how much ash is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, as you say, there's really no body count. People seem to be fairly easily evading the magma. So
step back. Just step back. Step back, everyone. We've found a way to beat it. Step back.
And that's what I mean. I find it likable. These are only businesses, but soon it's going to go to those houses. You remember those houses that we had earlier?
Yep. That we haven't really shown.
No, we haven't shown at all.
Because we didn't spend the money on those fucking sets. We're still stuck on Wilshire Boulevard.
Geographically also it's horrible. Like, where are we? Where are we going?
Yeah.
We're on this street. I know that. And they don't even say a line like, look, it's a problem here, but it's a massive problem down there. They don't even say, it's like a throwaway line.
What I needed is Tommy Lee Jones saying like, oh shit, look over there. And everyone looks. It's like, it's an In-N-Out building. That In-N-Out is going to be fucking oh shit, the burgers.
Yeah.
They all race to save In-N-Out because that's worth saving.
Absolutely. I know it's bad. I know that. So nothing I'm saying is saying it's not bad, because it is. But it's just fun. It's just stupid.
What scenes would make it better? Yeah, what would increase the fun level and take it from like I know it's a bit shit to, you know what? No, that was good.
Yeah, well, obviously we talked about taking out the daughter character doesn't work. Rewrite it, make her younger, make her older, I don't know, something. Get rid of the politician, whatever he is, you'd free up a bit more time for some like, yeah, funny deaths or build. There's no sense of threat. They don't seem to want there to be a sense of threat. You know, even when there's the tar pits or whatever, and people are just like, what's that? They just kind of look at it and no one really reacts or does anything. And people are almost like laughing at it. I would have thought they would have tried to marry the silliness with the threat a bit more than they do. Like I just watched Cliffhanger, which
Does it hold up?
it's scary as fuck. That intro, it's horrific. But that does quite a good job of marrying tension with campy silliness. If we're talking about the balance of threat and silly, that does that quite well. This could have lent into that a bit more. So yeah, that for me is the tonal balance is not right.
I would have liked to see LA itself fighting back. What does Compton look like during this? I know that increases the scale, therefore increases the budget. Yeah, just a bit more of LA being affected. Some throwaway line like, oh, fucking Cinderella's castle's fucked. But the biggest thing for me is the dad angle. I know why Tommy Lee Jones's character is a dad, because he needs some stupid fucking reason to run towards a building falling down at the end. But it didn't need to be his daughter protecting a random, equally annoying kid. I guess they needed something because he can't just be all about the job, but he is all about the job. And sure as fuck, he doesn't seem to know, much like know how to cook, doesn't seem to know how to actually.
And I know why you like Dante's Peak better, because that dynamic is done much better, isn't it? I completely understand, because it is more Jawsy. It what makes sense more. The kids are the right age to interact with him. But I like this. This for me is, again, he's cooking, he fucks it up and he makes cereal. We don't know, you know, it doesn't matter, but was there a mum? Doesn't matter. They don't even talk about it, which
I like that. Yeah, there's no traumatic backstory. No.
I mean, again, you wonder, better actor as a daughter, would that have helped? Pin the age down better, would that have helped? Maybe. Just throwing her over to play patty cake with those kids, it's just like, what? And then they have to like quickly, oh, let's get a threat there quickly. Where were they? They were at the hospital. Where was the hospital? On that street next to the
and then this kid just fucking walked and walked and walked.
Yeah, that peril is not necessary. I agree.
Speaking of peril, lava alone is not enough of a big bad. I need a bit more.
I mean, when you said the bad guy, I was thinking, who's that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The lava is the bad guy. And of course, lava, phenomenally dangerous, horrible, fucks up shit. Yes, I'm not debating that, but I need a bit more. Like, like Dante's Peak has pyroclastic clouds. I think I'm saying that right. And it's got the ash that gets sucked up in fucking helicopter propellers and brings that shit down. And but this is just lava.
No, I agree. No threat. I agree. The only time they even have a real issue with it is, when they have to use the fire truck. Like, that's about the only time where they're even like, this is even remotely a problem. And even then, not really. It's incredible that for a disaster film, it doesn't even bother with the fundamental thing you need in a disaster film. That's why I'm not even sure it is a disaster film. I'm not even sure what it is. Watching it, I had in my head, I know why Brad prefers Dante's Peak. And of course he's right. It's much more, it knows what it is and it does it better. But this is like a weird, and I don't like to use the word schizophrenic, but if you know what I mean, it's all over the shop. What's happened here?
And we haven't mentioned it, but Alan Silvestri's score.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Does the business. Great. Final statement. Enjoyable movie. A good cheese fest. I like Dante's Peak more, but even Dante's Peak is not the world's best either.
Yeah.
I would much rather rewatch this movie and Dante's Peak than rewatch Armageddon or Deep Impact.
Yeah, because if you look at those two, they've already, they lean much more into the earnest, and I'm not a fan of Armageddon. I think I've seen it once, if even once. It's not my bag. Smug. It's fucking smug. That's why I don't like it. But yeah, I agree. I just think, of course, it's not, it's not good. And there's loads of things you would do. And now it would have a million rewrites and it would change completely. And it wouldn't be like what it is. But it's a little time capsule. And as such, I enjoy it.
The Japanese title of Volcano was Volcano.
Volcano. What was the Japanese title of Dante's Peak?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because they don't tend to like that kind of title, do they?
No, they don't. I'm going to check out. Maybe we should make this a running...
yeah, this probably should be.
A running thing. Like, what is this in...
Skyscraper.
Okay, Dante's Peak is... Dante's Peak.
Yeah, well, that's disappointing.
Let's check out Skyscraper.
How handsome is Pierce Brosnan, though? I mean,
He's
it's unbelievable. Like you watch that
Yep.
film, it's unbelievable.
yeah, I'd fuck him.
It's very rare that you see an actor and you think,
Skyscraper.
yeah, that's what I thought. I think I remember Skyscraper. I used to love watching the trailers and you'd kind of guess if they were going to stick to the original title or they were going to change it or whatever. And yeah.
Anyway, we're going to wrap things up. I'll finish with some fun lines from the movie. I think Anne Heche says this one. There's no history of anything that happens until it does.
Thanks, Anne.
And the next line, you handle it. I'm going on vacation with my daughter. Says nobody ever.
Yeah, but look, that shows development, Brad. Come on, let's give the script credit for ham-fistedly just telling us.
Finally, from Roger Ebert, this is a surprisingly cheesy disaster epic. It's said that Volcano cost a lot more than Dante's Peak, a competing Volcano movie, but it doesn't look it.
It doesn't look it. He's not wrong.
Ebert wrote this real zinger. The copy ads may say the coast is toast, but they should probably say the volcano is Drano.
Oh. You did allude to it earlier. The way the way the magma moves around the tunnels, it's like, we can't go that way. Which way should we go? There's a tunnel. Like you can kind of imagine it thinking, well, where are we trying to get to? Well, if we go down there, there's water. Right, let's go this way. Like it's so silly. And so did the guys in the emergency center just stop? They just disappear.
Yeah.
Don't they? They're just where have they gone? They're no fucking help at all, are they?
It's a silly film, but by God, you want that. I hope disaster movies like this are made until the day I pass, because there are going to be times where I want to eat my popcorn, I want to drink my soda, and I want to watch this kind of movie where it's fun, cheeseball spectacle.
Yeah. There's no smug. Anyone that knows me, I've probably already said this loads of times, I can't stand it. And there's no smug. It's ridiculous. I mean, maybe for some people it doesn't go far enough, and I can understand that. But for me, it was a real tonic.
Agreed. Mates, we needed this one. In my notes, I've written down, I'd like to see, from a screenplay point of view, I'd like to see real science as the bedrock, and then the script works around that.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, I'm writing a screenplay. I go and talk to a volcano expert, and I'm like, what is the worst fucking case scenario? And what if the response teams did this or that? If you guys were watching a movie, what would you be like? Yeah, wow, that's fucking cool. That's exactly what would happen. And then I just go away and write the script around what they told me. Because that'd be awesome. Which I guess the James Patterson / Michael Crichton book Eruption was almost a bit like that, because of course Michael Crichton does his fucking research.
He does.
And I'm sure they'll make that into a movie eventually, but at least in book, yeah, the less said about that, the better. But yeah, so...
The less said about what, the better. I really enjoyed that. Anyway, the less said about that. That was good. I like that. You can keep that in, editor man.
Thanks very much, mates, for joining us.
That was so much fun to do. Yeah, really, disaster movies. There's just something about them that's the epitome of popcorn and soda. It's great. Hey, while I'm talking about great things, do you know what's coming ahead in our next episode? Well, you won't believe it. It is our 1-year anniversary. 1 year since Written Off debuted and reached you, listener, you. Wonderful, beautiful, fantastic you. Mark and I are going to spend the episode kind of talking about what's happened in cinema in that year. Like, for example, horror. You can't deny horror in 2026, especially indie horror. It's crazy right now. We'll also talk about how we feel about Written Off a year into it, what we're looking forward to in season 2, and all that glorious goodness. But until then, mates, I've got to say, Mark's got to say, thank you so much for listening.
We'll catch you for the next one. Until then, get out there, watch some movies, and try and figure out on your own how to make them better, because
you got nothing else to do, obviously. Yeah,
you got nothing else to do. And you can come and join us on the podcast. Thanks very much, mates. We'll catch you for the next one.
I think that's a fair call to arms.
Written Off is hosted by me, Bradley Freeman, and Mark Tasker. It's produced by the both of us, and it's edited by me. Our theme music is by Skane, and our artwork is by Sketchfro. This has been a Pugnacious Podcast production.